Hello and welcome to GameRomp Easy Mode. This is a podcast where we just hang out, be chill, relax, and talk about video games. With me and my wife,
Deanna.
And I'm David. So hey, guess what?
The Switch 2.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Switch 2 like everyone else, because, why not, right? It was a fun presentation, even if we probably won't get one. At least not any.
Was it a fun presentation? Like, you seemed kind of at least what I remember of it.
There's some things that were underwhelming, and some things that were cool, and some things that is just like...
It's Nintendo.
Yeah, it's...
Should we start with the big topic of there was a reason why they didn't show the price on the main presentation?
Did they not? I don't remember. I know
No.
At some point they said it was going to be like $450, but now that's not probably going to be the case.
Not for us, at least. Like, okay, here's my one question thing. Okay, I realize that those of us stuck in the US are going to get hit with tariffs, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't apply to the rest of the world, right? So their prices are going to be cheaper than ours? Or are they just going to make everyone pay the American tariff price?
No, they're definitely not going to do that, and I can tell you that for sure, because in Japan there's two different pricing models going on. Did you hear about that?
No.
Okay, so yeah, the USA is going to obviously pay a lot more, which, of course, because we're in a fucking dumbest timeline. I doubt that it's going to affect Canada's prices or South America or Europe's. And the reason I say that is because in Japan, they have two versions of the Switch 2. One is going to be cheaper. The cheaper one is going to be like, I think they said like 380 yen or something. I don't remember the exact price, but there's going to be a cheaper one in Japan, and that's only going to have the Japanese language support. It's going to be region locked for Japan only.
Okay.
It's a way for them to be like, this console is for the Japanese market. If you're outside of Japan and want English support or other languages,
You have to pay more for some reason?
you have to buy this other version that will cost more. And it's that second one's going to be, from what I understood from listening to people in Japan, that one's about the same price as 450 USD.
Now, I don't know anything about consoles, but why would language support cost extra?
I think it's just their way of making sure people don't hoover up all the Japanese Switch 2s.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if you're...
Is that a thing that happens?
Apparently, we know Japan has this thing where, like, if you're pre-ordering or whatever, you have to, like, win a lottery to even get a slot for that.
Well, in Japan, yeah. That's a thing they seem to do.
So they're already having issues with, like, stock. This is a way to make sure that people outside of Japan who would probably want to play in English or whatever don't just buy up all the Switches from the Japanese consumers.
Okay.
And in that case, the Japanese consumers are also paying less. So it's like, if you want...
Lucky for them, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's the benefit of being Japanese in Japan and buying a Japanese product.
Yeah, it's been a long-standing thing with Japanese electronics where a lot of tourists would go out there and buy them and then bring them home or whatever. And, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but...
No, as long as you understand Japanese, and that seems like it would be worth it, but...
But yeah, there's always been the thing, it's like, oh, it's cheap if you go to Japan and buy the games directly there in, Akihabara or whatever.
Sure, if you, manage to put in the cost of how much it takes to get there and stay there. And I guess if you were going to take a vacation anyways. Fine,
yeah, or some people that might work there. I know, for example, one of the YouTubers I've been watching a lot, the Basement Brothers. I think one of them lives in Japan and the other one doesn't. So the guy in Japan would buy up, like, some of the old used Neo Geo games.
Yeah, he seems to have a pretty big collection.
And it's like, a lot of people were like, oh, your collection must have cost so much because Neo Geo games have cost they can cost like $200-$300, right?
Are they like dirt cheap over in Japan?
For a lot of the older ones, yeah, it's like we paid like $30 or so in Japan for these and just send them home. And it's like, well, that makes sense because like one of them actually lives there anyways. Anyway, shout out to Basement Brothers. It's a great YouTube channel. But getting back to Switch 2, yeah, we're going to be paying a lot here in the US.
That's assuming you even buy it.
Yeah, we're not going to be buying this. It's too much. Even without the tariffs, it's just not in our budget right now. But holy cow, I can't imagine for the people that need to be day one supporters.
Yeah, have fun with that.
You're going to be playing like GPU prices for this. Oh God, that's another thing too. But
Let's not think about that.
it's going to be tough times in our stupid ass country right now. So anyway, let's talk about the Nintendo stuff, not that stuff.
Actually, just wanted to finish up with talking about the price things. Is just that apparently, I don't even remember his first name, but basically Nintendo Bowser is living... Doug Bowser. He's living up to his namesake because he recently pulled... Apparently, I guess they said this happened with the 360 back in the day. I never really followed Xbox.
PlayStation. I mean, a lot of these people were like, well, just save up or whatever. I mean, what are they going to say?
Anyways, Doug Bowser was like, well, if you can't afford the Switch 2, we still have the Switch 1, which obviously they're probably not going to decrease the price, so like, what's the fucking point? But it's just like, he literally could have done something where he blamed the tariffs, like, we're sorry it cost this much. This is just what we have to do because of tariffs, blah, blah, blah.
Companies need to step up and make it clear.
Not only that, but he just, instead of, putting the blame on the tariffs, which is legit, he's like, why don't you just stop being poor? And it's like, what the fuck?
He didn't say that.
It's just like, oh, well, if you can't afford it, just buy the old version thing. And it's like, well, if people wanted that, they already have a fucking Switch. Even we have a Switch.
I'm not going to sit here and defend Nintendo because they do a lot of shit I don't like, but this seems like a nothing burger to me. It's like somebody was asking him all this PR shit where, a reporter's asking questions like, he's going to say something and he probably didn't think it through and just said that. It's like, I don't think it's a big deal.
He could have obviously spun it in a way that would work better for them, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. But like when you're talking to reporters and the first thing that comes to mind, I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. It's true. If you don't want to buy the Switch 2, don't buy it. I'm not going to. That does bring up an interesting feature of the Switch 2 and Switch 1, though. I don't know if you've heard about this, but you will be able to play Switch 2 games on your Switch 1 on the condition that apparently it can stream from like your friend's Switch 2. So if you have a friend who's a Super Nintendo...
Oh, great. Now we need to have a friend.
If you have a friend that is a Super Nintendo Switch fanboy or whatever, and like they have to have it day one, and they buy Mario Kart, the new Mario Kart World, right? Apparently, if you're... I don't know if it works online, probably not, but if you're local, you can stream the game from their Switch 2 and both play Mario Kart together on your Switch 1 and Switch 2, which is kind of a cool feature.
Yeah, like, it feels like they did that with Mario Kart on the DS.
Yeah.
Where one person could have the game, and then, up to 8 players or 7 players? Or
I don't know how many players, but yeah, that's a great feature. Like...
So, I guess, yeah, you could, if you have one friend that has a Switch 2, and you could all, like, pool your money for the one game.
I mean, some people have a decent medium income and they're going to be buying this anyways, and friends that they play games with, so I can see that being great. Obviously for us it's like we're not going to take advantage of that, but like that's an option, and you know what, that's good. So
well, I have friends that fucking love Nintendo ridiculous, and they're probably going to end up buying the Switch 2 on the release day. But they're online, so that means jack shit for me. Yeah,
I don't know if it works online or not. Probably not. I would assume not, but I guess we'll see. It's funny, Nintendo has some hardcore fans that you don't really see, at least I don't, for like Sony or Xbox or even like PC. Like, okay, I'd say personally I'm more of a PC gamer, but I'm not like sitting here rooting for Microsoft or Steam. Like, I don't know, it's kind of a weird thing, but let's not get into console war stuff, I guess. Let's get back to the fun topic of what was in this presentation that we watched.
I hope you made a list, because I forgot basically everything.
Yeah, I got a list just in case, but I guess we can talk about the Switch itself. Like, okay, we already talked about the price. It's going to have a bigger screen, which is good, because the Switch screen is kind of tiny.
I mean, if you play on a handheld, sure, but unless you're moving around... like actually having to go outside, you can just put it on a TV like a normal person.
Apparently, I don't know, maybe it depends on who you're listening to, but a lot of people seem to love handheld mode, and
yeah,
I don't
because
get
they
it.
Work outside the house probably.
Or have like bigger families or something, I don't know. you always hear about the people like, oh, I want to play this on my Steam Deck, or oh, I love playing on my Switch. So it's like, I don't get it. I just rather have it on a big TV. But I don't know. Do we want to talk about the specs? It's like
the only thing I vaguely remember that sounds good is that like it can be 1080p and run what 60 FPS.
It can target, like, yes, it is a possibility, but I mean, technically the Switch 1 could also do 1080p on a TV and run at 60 frames per second if, the developers target it, but
I guess they made it vaguely easier then, hopefully.
it's an option now, and I think they can output the 4K as well.
But that doesn't mean anything to us.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything to anybody unless the developers make it a thing that their game can do so. Because like one of the things we saw in the presentation was a lot of ports, like Final Fantasy VII, Elden Ring, Hitman, all these games that like our old systems could run now coming to the Switch 2, with some caveats. Because apparently, it's still not quite that powerful. But
if a developer knows how to get it to 1080 and 60 FPS, that seems powerful enough to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, like, and of course this is getting into the weeds of things, like, who cares at the end of the day? Whatever you like to play at is fine. But when you would compare, like, one of the, already out consoles and how they can play something at 1080p versus how the Switch 2 will be playing it at 1080p or whatever, and the frame rate and, like, the overall visual quality of it remains to be seen how well it will really stack up. From what I've heard of people that have had hands-on experience with it, that it's good, but like you can still tell it's still the Switch. It's still like,
that's weird to me, because like if a Switch and a PS5 can both hit 1080p at 60 FPS, why would you still be able to tell a difference on the Switch?
well, visual quality of things, as in like graphical fidelity. For example,
Like textures?
yeah, textures, resolutions, shadows, lighting, all that stuff. You know how on a PC when you're playing a game, you can have the preset settings of like ultra, high, medium, low, right?
Yeah.
And then you can go in and tweak it even further. It's going to be the same for the consoles, basically, where you just can't really change the settings as dramatically. But like, just because something's running at 1080p at 60 frames per second on one thing, to get it to run at that on a different machine, sometimes the settings will be tweaked down a little bit lower.
I guess.
So that kind of thing. But I mean, at the end of the day, who cares? Like, if I've always been a person that am okay with less than 60 frames per second, but that's because I've been, I grew up with like PlayStation and N64, where some games were running like at 20 frames per second.
I suppose.
Anyway, we can move on from just the technical specs and all that shit, because everyone's going to have a different opinion on how they tolerate games running or not. One of the, I guess, I don't know if you'd say fun, but one of the interesting new applications they're releasing with the Switch is called the Welcome Tour.
Oh, that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to say about it? Because I'm just going to shit all over it, so if there's anything good, let me know.
Well, the concept is good. It's just the pricing. It should be free. Like, it should just be a bundled in.
It's a fucking tutorial. It's like, ooh, take your little character, walk it over here and read a sign about a technical aspect of the Switch 2. Give us $50 fucking dollars. Like,
no,
I don't know how much it is. But the point is, you shouldn't fucking pay for a tutorial thing.
Yeah, like, they should do like how the PlayStation did and just include it for free. Because the PlayStation had Astrobot.
Yeah, I keep hearing about that.
And Astrobot was free. It's like, why aren't you guys making this free? Because it doesn't look as good as Astrobot. It looks like a website.
It's not a game. Yeah, exactly.
It's a website like, with some Flash games on it.
Ooh, look around, and that's it. And it's like, no, what the fuck?
I know that's a bit harsh. They're not Flash games. But still, like, I think everyone agrees that this should have been a pack-in. Like, especially with how pricey the thing is, the Switch 2 is to begin with. Trying to wring out $10 extra out of the consumers, just give it to them, dude. Like,
God, you could have fucking bundled it and added the $10 and blame it on tariffs, and no one would have been any the wiser.
I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be $10. That's the price I've heard been thrown around, but
anything more than free is too much. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. other than that, other than the price, it's like, yeah, that would have been fun. Like, if you bought your Switch 2, like, to be the first thing to just boot up while, you know, Mario Kart's downloading. Just like, okay, sure, while Mario Kart's downloading, I'll boot this up, and it's basically like a fancy manual. Like, it's such a weird decision to price that. Like, Nintendo's been this company where they don't lower the prices on any of their games. They go hard on, like, this is how much it's worth, and you're gonna fucking pay it. Even 10 years from now, you're gonna fucking pay $60 for Breath of the Wild or whatever. So I can kind of see why they are such hardliners for, like, this is how much it's worth, and we're not shy to admit that this is what we're gonna charge. And, like, on one hand, it's kind of bad, but on the other hand, it's like Nintendo is also one of the few companies where, like, they don't fire people like a lot of Western devs do.
Yeah, I mean, they got that going.
When they have hard times, fucking the CEO will be like, we'll take a pay cut.
No, the old CEO. I don't know about the current one. And apparently when it came to the Wii, you know how Wii Sports was bundled in? Mm-hmm. Apparently Reggie had to fight for that because they wanted to charge, I guess Nintendo of Japan or whatever, wanted to charge for that. And Reggie was like, no, you're fucking not.
Wow, I did not know that. That's an interesting story.
Not only did we lose Iwata-san because of unfortunate events and now he's gone
Life
for
in
good,
general.
but we also lost Reggie to retirement. So we're screwed on both sides. And that fucking sucks.
Wow, I did not know that. That, like, I can't imagine how would the Wii have sold less if that game didn't come? Because, like, Wii Sports
probably yes, because, like, fucking Wii Sports got my stepdad at the time to play it because it had bowling. And he fucking loves bowling.
Like, all the old people were playing it. A lot of the people just bought the Wii just for that. They probably never even bought a game to go with it.
Yeah, and it's just like, that was a good fucking idea. And I would hope that, like, if Reggie was still around now, that he wouldn't be pulling this Bowser shit.
I don't know. I mean, who knows who's behind the decisions here? Maybe Nintendo of America has been being like, guys, this isn't a... But I don't know. Nintendo is like one of the few like well profitable companies. So I don't know. That's capitalism for you, I guess. Anyway, whatever. Welcome Tour looks like a website that you get charged $10 to play. So.
Oh boy.
But Mario Kart looks cool. Mario Kart World. At least I think it looks cool. Part,
I only have the one critique, and I think we both agree on this point that Mario Kart should be the new Smash Brothers. But outside of that, yeah, that looks
really that's definitely true. Like, oh man, it's such a missed opportunity because, like, okay, we got so many new characters now, but it's like
a dolphin. Like, how the fuck does he even hold on to any of the handles?
Freaking a dolphin from Super Mario World. Do you remember the dolphins from Super Mario World? Well, now you can play them as a racer. Like, okay,
I thought you were asking me. I'm like, I've never even played Super Mario World.
I think a lot of people remember the penguins from Mario 64. Like,
that's fair because of the meme of throwing the penguin off.
But like, still, that's not an interesting character to play. What would be more interesting would be like, I don't know, Samus or Zelda or freaking Marth even from Fire Emblem, because Marth is always going to appear. I don't
know if Zelda or Link showed up in the Switch 1 version, like Mario Kart 8 or something.
Yeah, Link is. I don't think Zelda is.
Okay, so they did sort of kind of try to turn it into Smash, as in they had other Nintendo characters as drivers, because like there's also like Isabelle and stuff.
Yeah.
But we both would like the idea of it was more like Smash Brothers and bring in outside characters like fucking Snake or
Mega Man.
Yeah.
That would be tough. But yeah, definitely. Like even just...
Because I think Mario Kart has a much bigger audience, a varied audience than Smash Brothers. Because I just don't like... I personally don't like fighting games. Yeah. So as much as I love the announcements of a challenger appears, it also doesn't mean jack shit to me because I just don't play it.
Honestly, even Smash, Mario Kart, freaking Mario Party, like all of these games.
That's true, yeah.
Just lean into the Smash hype. Everyone gets so hyped on Smash. It's not because the fighting game. It's because it's fun to see everyone together. Everyone loves the freaking crossovers. So
oh hell yeah!
Why aren't they leaning in on that for Mario Kart at least? Like, because they hinted that they would with the last game, with the DLC. Where you you get the Animal Crossing stages, and you play as Isabelle and Link and the Splatoon kids. Like, they were so close, and yet
so far.
Yeah, now we just like, okay, you get to play the cow, and everyone loves the cow, but
I mean, the cow is kind of adorable.
It's just not what I would have wanted, so oh well.
But they also do have like different outfits now, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe an outfit will.
People are going
miss,
crazy
but
for Peach's jean shorts for some reason.
I don't know. Putting Peach in anything but a fucking pillowy dress would be nice.
I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Let her have some clothing options.
It's funny that how desperate people are for that stuff. I think in Mario Kart, in the previous Mario Kart, like the Princess Peach and those characters had like biker suits. So I mean, yeah, they've already been in different outfits. So.
That's true. And like again, I don't really get into sports games, but I think Princess Peach, and I'm sure like the other characters that are like her, I forget all their names. She had like a really nice soccer outfit for the strikers or whatever. That was pretty form-fitting.
I don't remember, to be honest with you. I think everyone had different outfits in that game, though. Which, I mean, makes sense. They're in, like, soccer outfits.
No, I know, but I just mean, like, for her especially, it's like, get her out of that fucking dress. I hate that dress.
Yeah, I think the dress looks kind of dumb, too, but whatever. So, Mario Kart, yeah, it's a big open world.
Oh, yeah, and there's... Okay, sorry. Open world.
And what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that, like, just all the people racing. So it's going to be, like, a huge freaking group of people racing.
Yeah, I forget the number. Was it, like, 16 or more? 24? That was a big number.
Yeah, maybe 6. I don't remember. But it looked nice of having all those people on screen.
And that's why they have so many new characters and, like, different varieties of Mario and stuff. Like,
yeah, that way there's not, like, 5 Marios racing each other.
But again, that's what would have made, like, the Smash idea even better. Like,
agreed.
Here comes Mewtwo on a fucking go-kart or whatever.
Oh, great. They'll have Mewtwo instead of Mew.
Well, I mean, Mewtwo was in Smash, so I figured,
Yeah,
they just probably used those characters.
I mean, technically, wasn't Mew? It was just as a Pokeball. Or was it not?
Yeah, I think Mew's in a Pokeball. At least it was in, like, the original game. So, yeah, the open world is kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of the idea of Diddy Kong Racing, where you had, like, an adventure mode.
Never played it, but go on.
Just the idea of a kart racer with, like, a fun single-player adventure is kind of cool. So we'll see how that turns out.
Do you think they'd have, like... Or unless they already mentioned this and I forgot, like, going to different spots and having, like, quests and stuff?
I don't know. I would assume.
I mean, quests would basically be races, I guess, but...
Yeah, or, different things you could do, like, go to these 4 different spots in an allotted time, or try to reach this one secret area, or, like...
Go to this spot and take a photo, I guess.
Or using Mario Kart weapons, go defeat this thing that's in this area. Like, there's so many possibilities when it's a big open world to just drive around and have fun in.
Yeah, and hopefully that means, like, if it's open world, that the environment will have a lot of details, and just going around looking at things would be nice.
Yeah, because there was that one stage in Mario Kart 64. I forget what it's called. It was Peach's stage. Maybe it was, like, Peach Circuit or something, I don't know. But do you remember by any chance?
No.
This is the stage that has this, like, big ramp. It looks like you're driving up this bridge, but then it, like, just stops and you jump over the river, right?
Oh, shit.
And after the river, the course continues. But there's this little part between these hills, and if you drive through there, it's just a secret little area, and Peach's Castle is there from Mario 64, so you can just drive up to Peach's Castle.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, oh, fun little Easter egg. And it's like, they could do that with an open world. Just throw a bunch of fun stuff like that in there.
Oh, yeah. They had a part, I think, that showed, like, New Donk City or whatever. What if they had pedestrians you could hit?
I don't know. Maybe. There's definitely other traffic out there. But it's probably just going to be like the other Mario Kart games where it just, you crash into it.
And only you suffer.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You're in a go-kart, so... You don't want to be driving up against a bus in a go-kart.
No, but hey, there's some humans walking around. Let's just run them over. Suddenly it's GTA.
Should we move on to the next game?
Yes.
All right. I think the other really big, cool game that they revealed was Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about how Donkey Kong looks?
I think he looks great. I think
Yeah, I
he
think it
looks
was
way
fine
better.
because people were upset that he looked more like the movie version.
I didn't really like the movie, but I think the new look for Donkey Kong is fantastic. He looks cartoony and fun and expressive and like furry. I think he looks fantastic. I don't understand
Well, that
people's
made me
complaints.
happy. Because, yeah, I guess the voice choice was whatever, but...
Wait, he had a voice?
No, I mean, like, in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I barely remember what they sound like. The movie was so forgettable to me, I'm going to be honest with you. But I don't know. I think the Donkey Kong game looks great. Like, it's nice to see some new ideas because I guess it's like voxel based maybe or something along those lines where like you can just tear everything apart.
Oh, yeah, people are going to have a blast just destroying the environment.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be like Minecraft where you could build stuff, but you could destroy everything, so it's like the opposite of Minecraft.
I forget, did the trailer show anything about, like, Diddy Kong or any of the other Donkey Kong characters at all?
No, I don't think so.
Because, like, I don't know if any other... I mean, I don't play them all, obviously, but Donkey Kong 64 had a ton of characters.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've all been in the same game since then.
There's so many characters in the Donkey Kong universe. Like, I think Diddy Kong and Cranky Kong are always, like, coming back. And maybe Funky Kong and Candy Kong. But then there's, like, Trixie Kong and the little baby brother one. I don't remember his name. And then,
there's the muscular one.
Then they're the ones from the N64 game. And I don't even know what they're called because I never really played that one too much.
I know there was the muscular one who was, like, derp. And then there was the orangutan, but was that Funky? No, Funky Kong's the one with the glasses.
The glasses, yeah.
Oddly enough, I don't think he was in 64.
Yeah, neither was Trixie.
Oh, maybe it was Lanky Kong was the orangutan?
Why do they all share the same last name? Diddy Kong is not...
They're all inbred, I don't know.
But Diddy Kong's a monkey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe he's an adopted monkey.
Well, maybe
anyway,
it's just
whatever.
like a clan thing.
Yeah. The Kong
Or a cult,
clan.
whatever.
Oh my god, the banana cult.
Ooh, banana.
Anyway, yeah, the game looks fun. Just because Donkey Kong himself looks really fun, and that energy makes it feel fun, even if like we don't really know what the gameplay is like yet. Oh, I mean, we've seen it in motion, but
yeah, and it'll be nice too that it's not just a side scroller thing.
Yeah, it's a 3D platformer with destructible
Elements.
Everything, like even the ground. Like there's a lot of games where you can destroy the environments with like, stuff that's built up, but Donkey Kong literally could just dig a big hole.
Diggy hole.
And he's got like, was that hat like a miner's cap? Because at first when we saw like the silhouette, I thought it was like, wait, is that Diddy Kong? Because it looks like he's wearing a cap.
I don't remember.
But it looks more like a miner's cap, so he's got like the little light on it. I don't know if that's gonna play any
Maybe if you dig deep enough, there's going to be cave systems or something.
Yeah, there was definitely some underground sections. I don't know if like maybe they dug too deep and then they released the Balrog.
Oh, no.
I don't know. We'll see. It looks cool. I mean, we're probably not going to play it for years, but still. That was definitely, I think, the highlight of the show for me. That game, I think. Well, let's continue and we'll see if I disagree with myself. Oh, Kirby's Air Ride was another one. I'm not a huge Kirby's Air Ride guy, so...
Yeah, is that like... Oh, yeah, this is like a... Okay, this is gonna go back to the idea of Smash, or Mario Kart being like Smash. Why the fuck would you release a Mario Kart game and then have Kirby try to compete against in the same market?
My only guess is because Sakurai. And Sakurai has enough influence and power to be like... Guys, I don't want to make Smash Brothers, I want to make this. And Nintendo was like, okay. That's my only guess.
Sakurai, like, take your Smash Brother ideas, all the characters, and just make one big Mario Kart thing. Kirby, I think, is going to get his ass handed to him over this.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a couple of year difference when they release.
It's going to be tough for Kirby's Air Ride. I guess we'll see if there's like, if the gameplay or something is so unique about it, but... I think it's just Sakurai wanting to make it, and that's why it's happening. So that's probably the best reason to make a game, honestly, if you want to make something. And if he wants to make this...
I mean, fair. I just think it would be better the other way. I'd rather have Kirby with everyone else.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately we're not getting that Smash Racer game, so Maybe in the future if we get lucky, but I doubt it. Literally nothing else to say about this game because we're just not air ride people. So let's move on to Zelda.
Oh, the game that we hate.
Oh my god, you have to say it like that. Okay, so yes.
The lore ideas are interesting, but it has to be the worst type of game possible.
It's a Muso. It's a Dynasty Warriors type of game.
Ugh.
And yeah, that's...
Ooh, let's get excited for Zelda and lore, and now you have to take one character and beat to death like millions of other characters until the time's up or whatever the fuck it works.
Yeah, I remember playing the demo for the previous one, and like I wanted to like it because like finally you can play as Zelda and like these other characters. Like Sheik looked so cool in that game, but it's just Muso games, man. I just do not understand the appeal. I tried to play the Dragon Quest one too, and I think there was one for Fire Emblem. So like there's just so many Muso games, and like none of them can hold my attention for long because there's just something about the gameplay. It doesn't feel fun, and just the concept of killing hundreds and hundreds of things at once, just, I don't know, man. Maybe that would make sense if you're like a giant monster or like in a mech suit and you're fighting a bunch of infantry, but in a game like this, it just...
Oh yeah, like if we're working with the Zelda universe, imagine if you were the giant boar version of Gandalf from like Breath of the Wild, and you're just... Ganondorf, whatever.
You said Gandalf.
Is that the, like...
That's the wizard dude from Lord of the Rings.
Fuck it, whatever. Ganondorf, and just, like, trampling hundreds of... Then I could see that working.
Yeah.
But being just the size of Zelda and taking on all those characters, it's just... I don't know. There was, like, a huge trope back in the day of, like, oh, this one character can just take on hundreds of thousands of other people and it's totally fine and normal and they'll survive, and it's just like, ugh.
It's uninteresting, especially if like in Breath of the Wild, and granted I haven't played the second one yet, but especially in the beginning of the game, like each enemy was dangerous. Even the little red bokoblin was like a threat, and you had to be careful. Never mind if you ran into the blue one or a black one too early. Like it was a dangerous world, and now it's like, nah, it's nothing. Link can just like sneeze at them and kill dozens at a time.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, and that just kind of ruins the whole immersion of what it could be.
Yeah, I would rather just have like another open world Zelda game with the story and the new characters to play as, but that's just not what's happening. Muso games are popular. They keep making them. There's a Persona one as well. Ugh. Like there's, I don't know what it was called. It wasn't called Persona 5-2, but it's basically Persona 5-2, but it's a Muso game.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, oh man, I can't with this shit. I can't. Oh well.
Like maybe if they had turned it into, I don't know if it's a specific genre, but where they have all the like giant armies going against each other, that would make more sense.
I mean, even for a game like Fire Emblem, which has like armies versus armies, it's still like suddenly it's just your one character fighting dozens of dudes at the same time.
No, but I'm talking, there's other games, I forget. It's just, it doesn't go down to the individual characters, I don't think. It's literally just this giant army going against a giant army, and then they attack and fight and blah, blah, blah. And that would make more sense.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the names of those games, though. No, I can't. It's not coming to me.
The only name coming to me is like Risk or something, and I don't know if those ever became an electronic game. No. Real-time strategy could have fucking worked.
I guess. Would we want a Zelda real-time strategy?
I'm just saying it would have made more sense than this shit.
They made a Secret of Mana or a Mana series real-time strategy game, and it's like, who asked for this? That's not what I want. Oh well. It's kind of like Front Missions. Like, Front Missions, this great strategy game. How about the new Front Mission is a third-person stealth espionage game? Like, that's not what we want. God.
And, like, I didn't play them for long, but, like, I've played Warcraft. I've played Age of Empires. Those were acceptable. It didn't seem as ridiculous as a Muso or whatever they're called.
Yeah, because it's armies versus armies. It feels more...
Yeah. So why not give one of those types with Zelda?
even when you had your hero units like Thrall, he would still be overwhelmed if you just sent him out Muso style. So, but it's just it is what it is. I don't know use worrying about it, I guess.
Maybe it's a weird cultural thing with Japan or something.
Moving on, how about Metroid? I know you don't really care about Metroid.
Nope.
And to be honest, I love 2D Metroid, but I've never been a fan of the Prime series, like the 3D Metroid stuff. But I did want to bring it up for one interesting reason, and as I saw that you can use the controls, like your left hand can use the joypad to walk around, and then the right hand can use it as a mouse.
Mm-hmm. So it makes shooting a little bit easier. Yeah,
that's really interesting because it's like the best of both worlds. Because even when I play like third-person or shooters or third-person action games where aiming is a thing, I still always want to use a controller. I don't like using keyboard and mouse.
Agreed.
Because like I've seen some people play like, for example, Red Dead Redemption 2 with a keyboard. And I could not imagine how awful it is to control Arthur walking around in third person with the WASD. You might as well be using a Nintendo NES D-pad. That sounds like a nightmare. So it's like you need a joypad for good 3D movement, but obviously aiming and shooting is way easier with a mouse.
Actually, I forget if I've brought this up in a previous podcast, because, surprise, we're coming up on a year, I think. I had played a little bit of GTA on the computer, and I would play with a controller when I'm walking around and drive, especially driving and things like that. But when it got to the parts where I needed to shoot like a ton of people, then I could easily switch to keyboard and mouse, and it was so much easier.
Yeah.
It's just having that ability to go between the two was fantastic.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
So being able to do that on the Switch too would definitely be a super good thing.
Although I have heard from from journalists who have actually got their hands on it, that it take a bit of getting used to, because the controller, you can move it around like a mouse and use it as a mouse, but it's not like a mouse, so it's a different hand shape. It's weird to hold it like that, and like when we use a mouse, the right and left buttons are like right next to each other. That's not the case for...
That's true.
So it does take some getting used to, but it's something. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like if I could play a lot of my PC games with like a joypad in my left hand and then like a gaming mouse in my right hand, that would be amazing. But
well, hopefully getting used to the different hand shape wouldn't take too long. Maybe you get used to it eventually.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, so that's kind of a cool thing to mention at least. Pokemon ZA was also talked about. I think this was in the other one, but we can just roll them together. I guess you have no interest in Pokemon ZA.
It's... Man, I want to like a 3D Pokemon game, but I don't know. I mean, okay, it looks a little bit... I was going to say it looks a little bit better than what we've seen with like Sword and Shield. But at the same time, I think we've only seen trailer stuff. I don't know if anything has been shown of like in-game stuff.
It's all been in-game.
Oh, okay. I guess it depends on what the environment looks like and, not tiled textures and all that shit. I would like to have hope for Pokemon games, but I don't have confidence in the Pokemon company.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally fair.
And it was kind of funny because I was thinking, the Zeta A, and then it's like this ranking system, I guess. Yeah. But like I haven't played the other 3D Pokemon games like on the Switch or anything. So I don't know if this is a thing they've done before, and I just wasn't...
I don't think so.
So it's like, I guess I kind of thought it was kind of interesting that like, the title is because of the ranking system, and you go from Z to A and blah, blah, blah. And then I saw on Discord, one of my online friends was like, this is fucking stupid. I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, maybe. And they're like, no, this sucks.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it doesn't really appeal to me either. I thought maybe they would make something cool with this, but I don't know. It looks fine, I guess, for your standard Pokemon game. It doesn't feel as inventive as the previous one, the Arceus or whatever it's called. It still has that, like, you can throw the Pokeball out and, like, you can sneak attack other trainers too. Like, really? That feels so... That's like the antithesis of what Pokemon has been. if you're going to be sneak attacking them, why not just double battle against a single Pokemon too? The big taboo.
I don't know. It's like we're getting back at all the trainers for like, we're just trying to walk somewhere, and they're like, oh my god, I saw you from 50 feet away. Did you touch me? Like, bitch, no.
And what if you're like in one of those combat zones? It's like you're in this beautiful city of Paris, in future Neo Paris, and like there's like these battle zones where your Pokemon are just open for attack, like just surprise attack, and like I guess you gotta like consent to be in there to do that stuff. But like, imagine you're just like, I just want to go down the street to get some coffee and get some bread, and I gotta walk through this freaking red zone.
I feel like there's a thing, and I'm probably going to get this wrong, so if anyone listens to this and they're like, no, that's not what it's called or how it works, then it's fine. But I think there's a thing in old school RuneScape or something where you have the towns and you're like protected, but there's one specific area called the Wilds, I think, and God forbid you go in there and people would just gank you forever. Now just imagine that you're walking around with your Pokemon and someone's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, you're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker.
Can you like go into these, I wonder, like, can you go into these red zones and just not have your Pokemon out? Like, I mean,
then they'll just take a bat to your knees.
Oh my god, it's such a weird concept. Like,
this is the no-go zone.
I know we're like overthinking this Pokemon stuff, but yeah, like the thing about ZA that is interesting to me is that it's all set in the one city, and that reminds me a lot of the one Pokemon fan game I really loved, the Ash and Frost.
Oh, with the investigator dude, yeah.
Yeah, but that was way more interesting. Like. Guys, seriously, just play Pokemon Ash and Frost. Like, holy cow. Just do it.
Pokemon Company, get your shit together.
Okay, and I guess another thing we talk about is if you pay the monthly fee, which is, you said like $4 or something?
I think it's, $3.99 per month if you go month by month. I think I might go for the 3 months, and it's like $8, so you get like...
3 months?
Yeah, you pay for 2 months, you get one free, something like that.
Okay, anyway, I don't know if they're going to increase the price for Switch 2. I feel like I remember hearing something about that, but I'm not entirely sure. But they're bringing GameCube games to the online thing. Like, I mean,
about fucking time, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. I wonder if our N64 controller can plug into the Switch to play. It's a USB N64 controller. Yeah. But I know they're going to sell like a controller that's a GameCube controller for it now too.
Of course. Now it's gonna be like fucking $90.
I don't know. I don't know. It's probably not gonna be cheap because Nintendo stuff isn't cheap.
It wasn't cheap before. It's not gonna be cheap after.
I know they were bringing like Wind Waker and Fire Emblem. And it's like, is there any interest for any GameCube games? Because like maybe Animal Crossing. Are they bringing Animal Crossing? That would be cool. Other than that, I can't really say like I'm dying to play a GameCube game that I can't just play elsewhere.
Other than the Mario Party games, I don't know.
Well, that was a lot of nothing for us. I guess we can just move on. Okay, here's an interesting one. That was when the trailer was playing, I think everyone thought, wait a minute, is this Bloodborne?
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't Bloodborne. It was,
I mean, it's Bloodborne, but it's not Bloodborne. It's both.
No, I think this is more like... It almost feels more vampire-y, whereas Bloodborne was more like eldritch horror stuff with like, this blood is healing you, but also it's terrible for you. Whereas this seems more like, well, for one thing, it's a multiplayer game. So
yeah, that's the killer for me.
PvPvE. So I think from what I've heard, Miyazaki has been getting into Tarkov.
Oh boy.
Or I don't know if he's been getting into it himself or watching people play it, but he's like, Tarkov is cool, so I want to make a Bloodborne Dark Souls kind of game, except it's kind of like Tarkov.
But is it going to have that, like... Because I've only watched, I think it was Perry and Flax play it a couple of times. And I will say the sound... what's it called? The sound...
Sound design?
Yeah, the sound design is really good. Like, you can just walk around slowly, you can hear everything, you can hear, like, the creaks if someone's walking nearby or on the level above you or stuff. The sound design is really good, but the rest of the game is just, like, It's a shooter, so.
Well, yeah, that's what this is going to be designed after the rest of the game. I doubt they're going to worry about the sound stuff because it's not a stealth game.
Yeah, it's like, well, that's the only part of Tarkov I liked, so whatever.
But yeah, so basically it's like there's some PvE elements and you can like join your friends, but there's also no alliances. You could just stab them in the back and kill the other players, and it's like, okay, fine for people that like that stuff, but I just want like the single player adventure Souls gameplay, so this is just not going to be for me, sadly.
Which is unfortunate, yeah.
But on the plus side, it's not Bloodborne, and it's not more Bloodborne, so I don't feel bad. If it was more Bloodborne and it was this, then I would be really sad. But it's not, so whatever. Maybe some people will enjoy it, but it's definitely not for me.
Now, you wouldn't play it yourself, but do you think you would enjoy watching other people play it so you can at least get, like, maybe if there's a little bit of story or something in it?
I don't know. I'll probably watch somebody give it a little play, but I doubt I'd watch like a full playthrough. Mostly just this, for curiosity's sake. It seems to be kind of similar to the other one that they're making. It's weird that they're making two multiplayer-focused Souls-type games. Do you remember the other one, the Elden Ring one?
I mean, vaguely, but yes, I know of it.
I forget what it's called, like Night Rain, maybe? I don't know, something like that. And it's just like, what if Elden Ring, but it's a multiplayer thing? And it's like,
yeah, multiplayer, really. But like all the time. Because technically you can have invasions and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can you turn that off, or?
If you don't co-op, you don't get invaded. At least that's how Elden Ring worked.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's how Elden Ring worked. Some of the older Dark Souls games, you could still get invaded even if you weren't summoning people, but you could just play offline if you didn't want to deal with that. I remember the first Dark Souls game I played was Demon Souls on the PS3. And I remember hearing about like, oh, people can invade you. And it's like, okay, I guess that could be interesting. And then like somebody I didn't know invaded me on like the second stage, and he had like a big two-handed sword. And I'm like, okay, time for some PvP. And he killed me in one shot, like Oof. One shot. And I'm like, okay, that's not fun. So I just went offline and never did it again, because in those games, death can be punishing. And it's like, I just don't want to deal with somebody like min-maxing their build or twinking out or, God forbid, hacking. Because that was a problem in the old games too. They could hit you with like a hacked weapon that would just de-level you or break your character.
Jesus Christ.
So I was like, well, no thanks. I think the last thing I got written down is Deltarune.
Oh, yeah. I guess the trailer was funny because it just like started with annoying dog.
Yeah.
Which is basically, isn't that like Toby's like persona?
Yeah, basically.
So that was cute. It is nice to finally see that all 4 chapters are done or will be done shortly. And I know I had played maybe the first chapter. I don't know if I quote unquote finished the first chapter. And then I'm like, this is good because it's Toby Fox. He's just good at this. But I'm not going to remember jack shit every time a new chapter comes out. So I'm just going to wait until the end.
Yeah.
And now it's finally, we're getting to the end. It's like, yes. But I'm probably just going to play it on PC. So
yeah, same. Like, it's great to see that it's done. And like, I haven't even played this one at all. I mean, I did like Undertale, but like you, it's like, I don't want to just play chapter 1. I'm just going to wait. So the music is really good. I mean, of course, right?
Yeah, like Toby Fox and Concerned Ape are basically on the same level for me.
Really?
As in, like, their games are just really fucking good, and I'm excited for both of their new games. Obviously, this one's going to be coming out a lot sooner than the Chocolatier one, but I don't know. They're both really good at what they do, and they both seem pretty chill dudes, so I don't know.
I'm living the dream. So yeah, I mean, there's other stuff we glossed over and skipped, like all the ports, like whatever. I mean, do you really want to play Final Fantasy VII on your new Switch when you've probably already played it in the other ones? I don't know, maybe some people
I thought you were asking me. I'm like, dude, I haven't even played any Final Fantasy game. It's not a thing that appeals to me. Yeah, I don't remember anything else, so whatever.
There was like a brief showing of I don't even remember the name of it. It's that Shin Megami Tensei game where you're playing the investigator dude, but yeah, it's fine. Wow, I'm getting sleepy talking about all this stuff.
Well, that's maybe good. I mean, we're at the end now, so it probably works out for everyone here.
Yeah, what a podcast. We just complained and been like, wow, that looks cool, I guess. I don't know. Donkey Kong was the winner for me, for sure. Going back to what I said before, Donkey Kong was the clear winner. But I'm also probably not going to play it ever. Maybe.
Yeah, just
for years.
For various issues.
Maybe one day we'll buy it and then get to play it, but that's the tough thing too. By the time that comes out, it's like I'm not playing something else.
Oh, I remembered something. Okay. Tomodachi Life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it's gonna suck that I just can't afford to play it because I think that's just gonna be a repeat of the last Tomodachi game. So.
I think that's gonna be on the old Switch as well. I don't because that was in the previous presentation.
Okay, well, if I can play it on the Switch one, then maybe I actually can get it.
Yeah.
Closer. I'm not saying I can get it on the day it releases, but closer to where maybe people are still actually playing it.
Maybe you should just do it. Yeah, just save up. It's fine. It's only like... Will it be a $60 game? I mean...
I have no idea.
It probably will be, but... If you want to play it with your friends and get in while everyone's still having fun with it, that feels like one of the few games that would be actually funny to watch.
Okay, then I'm excited for that. And it's just, like, I just remembered it because when the trailer was starting, everyone was like, wait, is this a new Animal Crossing? But it's not. It's Tomodachi Life, which is almost better. Like, I'm gonna miss not having, like, the animal villagers and stuff, but just the random bonkerness of the Tomodachi characters and their, like, ridiculous synthesized voices.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. It's just good, silly, dumb fun.
That's definitely Nintendo at their best, when they're just silly and dumb.
Yeah. We need more silly, dumb games.
Mm.
And, like, the best part of the trailer was when there's a character who's, like, sleeping on the beach and it just farts and goes, toot.
Oh. I thought my favorite part was probably, like, there was these two characters and it looked like they were, like, lovingly looking at each other and she was running towards her on the beach and she just keeps running and getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
The 50-foot woman.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was cute.
It's stuff like that really, yeah. I remember in the old one, like, they had, you always see this clip being played. Like, there's a virtual boy in the middle and all the people are, like, dancing around it, worshipping the virtual boy.
Or when you could, like... all the little Tomodachi's had their own little apartment and you could, like, peek in and just see what stupid little shit they're getting up to.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I look forward to this one because, yeah, again, I missed out on the last one, so.
It looks fun and hilarious.
Yeah.
Just to see what... Hopefully there's plenty of random dumb stuff that they get up to and it doesn't start repeating too often.
Yeah, because they ruined Animal Crossing with that, I think.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of quality life stuff that I still enjoy because I'll go over this the next podcast, but I've been playing Animal Crossing again, and there's a lot of good quality of life. There's a lot of good graphics, stuff like that. But the content of the animal dialogue is just trash.
Yeah, sadly.
It's just like, oh, let's talk. And they say one line and that's it. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm so disappointed. But otherwise, whatever. We'll go over that next week.
Yeah, this is going to be a hot topic, but wasn't there a game that was like Animal Crossing, but they had AI to make the animals say different things?
Yes, and I did have, I don't know if it counts as a trial or a beta or a demo or what have you. I tried it, but I still didn't like it because while the AI could have potential, and that's not actually what I had trouble with, the rest of the game felt more like vaguely mobile-like, and I didn't like that. So, yeah, it didn't work for me. But if Animal Crossing applied that, maybe.
I wonder if they will for the next one because these AI conversation bots are so freaking popular. Like, even for the ones that are like, oh, you can have an AI friend or an AI girlfriend. Those are really popular, too. And it's like, people just talk to them, and they love that shit.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't think I could get into any of those, like, AI girlfriend-boyfriend app things. But if you applied that to, like, the Animal Crossing villagers, I think it would be more acceptable because, like, if the AI goofs up and says something, like, out of character or... not quite what you would think. It's just, you could just put it up to like, it's just the villager being a silly goose, you know? Like,
yeah.
But if you're trying to be like personal with a AI girlfriend thing and she says something completely out of whack, it's just gonna completely kill it.
Yeah,
So I feel like for something silly and fun like Animal Crossing Villagers, it could work.
I wonder if Nintendo would actually do that. The more I think of it, the more like danger they're putting themselves into.
Probably, yeah. Because oh no, they're like the AI goes completely off rails and tells a kid to kill themselves or something.
Or yeah, I mean, even remember when like people were freaking out over Tortimer being like, "Oh, what's your name?" or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember that fiasco. But that was just like journalists being fucking dumb as shit and like not doing actual journalism. Like you could just play the game and realize it's not connected to the internet.
But that makes me feel like
not a fucking pedophile.
That makes me feel like Nintendo will be very careful about this stuff and they might just not even touch it.
Which is fair. But if they don't touch it, they need to go back to writing Animal Crossing games like the original. Because I heard that the dialogue on that is like a fucking novel's worth. And the Animal Crossing characters now are basically like a booklet worth at most.
Really? I heard it was the opposite, but it's just like the writing quality is just too safe.
Well, there's the thing of the animals now, like the cranky characters aren't actually cranky. So like, why the fuck are they qualified as cranky characters? Even though I love the cranky characters. But also just the volume of dialogue that the animals had back in the old days is like 1,000 times longer than what they have now.
I've heard the opposite, but I guess we can research this a bit further.
Okay, fair.
Either way, yeah. I mean, it's just, talking to the animals in New Leaf. Wait, is it New Leaf? New Horizons.
New Horizons.
Sorry, I always get them mixed up. It gets old fast, unfortunately.
Yeah, so basically while I've been playing, I just kind of imagine things in my own head, and I have to rely on my own imagination, because what they give you is just not good.
And there's always like the debate too of like what's better, like Animal Crossing style or like Stardew Valley, Harvest Moon style, where like each character has their own individual like little story. But then like you have to work to get the story. But then there's at least that, like you know that Penny has her thing that she deals with, or the artist girl, or
Leah, yeah,
etc. Like that would be interesting, but then like there's too many animals for that. And like is like Fribbit the robot frog really gonna have a deep story? Probably not. So.
No, like I can understand them having their personality types, but if you're gonna call him a cranky character, let him be cranky. Not like, oh, I'm gonna be cranky for the first 5 minutes that we meet, and then after that I'm gonna be your bestest friend ever. Like that's not cranky.
They're like curmudgeons, but not even that. They're more like just sleepy and old. And I'm already that in real life, so... Well, I'm not sleepy, but...
I am. You can be the old, I can be the sleepy. Maybe that's why I like the cranky characters so much. Anyways, I think that was pretty good for this week.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I guess we're done for now. We can now go to sleep.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea.
Or eat, because I'm hungry.
That is also a good idea.
I shouldn't be saying that on the podcast. All right, see you later.
Bye, we love you. We'll see you next week.